McLeansboro. That storm now moving your way. And as Eric mentioned, we are getting that cycling. It'll kind of weaken a little bit and then get strong again as it comes into more favorable atmospheric conditions there, which is moist, warm, and we have very strong winds aloft that are helping these storms kick off and really get rolling. Let me show you a 3D view of that tornadic cell there just to the south now of Benton and actually here in southern Illinois. And as we put our 3D tool in place here and come across, what you're going to see is the structure of the storm, which is what Eric and I look at when we're off the air, but we can also show it to you here on the air. And the main feature that we're looking for in this particular case is how tall it is, whether we have inflow coming into it, and if we can discern a tornado, or at least where a tornado would be in the storm. So we're going to move this 3D scan over a little bit and down so you can get a better glimpse of what's happening in this cell. You see these strong returns here, dark red, even purple. That's your hail core right in here. Or more than likely your hail core, and we can actually use this to scan all the way front to back within the storm. So we'll go back, and that's really more of the hail core right in here. You see another feature. I'm trying to get it there. Okay, sometimes it gets a little flaky on us, so we'll come back to it here in a minute. But we are seeing that distinct, what we call a shelf, where the hail is coming up and over. And we're also seeing, of course, the tornado signature in there as well. So just a quick reset here. We have 2 tornado warnings on the board right now, just out to the west and also to the north. And they are going to last here for a few more minutes. The tornado warning in northern Lawrence County will continue here for about another 5 to 7 minutes. It goes until 9:45, so about 20 minutes or so. And then our tornado warning here on Hamilton County will continue here until 9:45 as well. That means that more than likely we will have tornado warnings in White and Wayne counties by 10 o'clock.
Jeff, as we mentioned, hail also a big threat with these storms that are moving into the tri-state, and just got a report of a 3-inch diameter. That's teacup size. That is in Benton, which is in Franklin, Illinois, moving off to the north and east. As we look behind us, you can see those reds and even some oranges. That's indicating 2 to 3 inch size hail. This storm is moving into our area, heading towards McLeansboro right now. So hail also a possibility for those severe storms and tornadic storms that are moving in. Jeff?
And Eric, that is a new tornado warning which will be in effect here for Edwards County. And we now have that tornado warning we were anticipating for White and southern Wayne. So it actually covers 3 of our counties. Let's get really tight on it here. Just touches a corner of Edwards, all of White County, and then the eastern half of Hamilton County. And that's a tornado warning, folks. This is the real thing. We've had a confirmed tornado on the ground. If you are in Edwards, White, or eastern Hamilton counties, go to your tornado shelter now in the basement, lowest level away from windows, and you need to protect your body with blankets and abandoned mobile homes. If you can, get to a neighbor's home or a reinforced building that's nearby. You can listen to our coverage. If you can't get the app there or you're not able to watch television, you can listen to us on 104 FM WIKY. And we ask that if you can safely do it, share reports with us. If you're getting hail, wind damage, power outages, tornadoes, you can use the submit feature here. It'll come right to us here in the Weather Center. Let's look now at the radar scope data, and I'm going to switch it back here to the Evansville radar. That's going to give us the cleanest shot on what's happening. And as we look, this is Grayville here, but the main storm is still just to the west now of highway. That would be 15 going down there, 14 going down. I'm going to put on our velocity, and you're going to see some bright greens on the screen here, which are showing us where that strongest wind is right now. This will be moving up toward Enfield, Springerton, Mill Shoals, in addition to McLeansboro, as that storm goes to the east at about 45 to 50 miles an hour. The storm itself continues here. Let me get the information on that. And okay, that one is not in just yet, so we'll come back to that in a second. Let's hone in on where that warning is now. And again, this is in the 14 News viewing area, so we definitely now are under the gun. There's the cell. The strongest winds now are showing up just on the southwestern corner here in McLeansboro, and we'll be moving across White County here in the next 30 to 45 minutes. We'll do a storm track on it, and there we go. And we're going to go right here from where we see the strongest part of the storm back here to the northeast across northern White County and also Edwards there. Your arrival times: Enfield at 9:37, Mill Shoals at 9:40, Carmi at 9:47, and then Crossville at 9:53. So just before 10 o'clock, between 9:45 and 10 is the arrival time that we're projecting right now based on what the storm is showing. So if you're in these areas, you need to be taking shelter now as this tornado warning it has been triggered by a verified tornado confirmed by spotters. So that's the real deal. And that is likely the case, thank you, that we'll have pretty much all evening long as we track these storms. We're going to set something up here so we don't lose power, and then we'll continue to bring you updates here as we go along here this evening. And again, our standard protocol here is to stay on continuously with coverage when we have tornado warnings, because this is a life-threatening situation, and we are now in the 14 News viewing area here in the west in Illinois. There are your arrival times. We're going to use a couple of other tools here to show you some of the hazards in the storm. But before we do that, again, I need to show you the procedures in a tornado warning. I know this is repetitive, but we're required to do this. So just go to your basement or small interior room and basically just get as many walls between you and the outside as you can. As the storm moves a little closer, we have a lot of spotters who are in this area right now, and they will be able to hopefully tell us what's happening out there. You can get involved in that too if it's safe to do so. Eric is monitoring our Facebook Live. That's on my page right now, Jeff Lyons, 14 News. You can see the coverage here in the studio. If you'll write in there when the storms arrive at your house, tell us where you are. If you're in Carmi, Enfield, Norris City, wherever you happen to be, tell us where you are, what's happening at the time, and we will then be able to track that storm in real time with you helping us out. So we all work together here. Let's get a closer view here now. We'll use our box tool to zoom in on the radar. And again, Fairfield not in the warning right now. It's basically just along and south of Interstate 64. And then right from McLeansboro, Enfield to Carmi is the projected storm track right now. The wind data with this storm has been pretty impressive, and we're going to look at that now. So we're going to use what we call velocity data. You see these brighter colors now starting to show, and some darker ones too, and each one tells us a little something about the storm itself. And so I'm looking right now. We're seeing anything over 50, 60 miles an hour. Even though this is off the surface quite a bit, it does support the idea that we do have rotation within the storm. We're going to look at radar scope now, and again, this is another resource that we have, another great tool to show you exactly what's happening. I'm going to put a loop on here so we can watch as this storm winds up and moves in here toward McLeansboro. And as it comes along here, it might be a little difficult to see here until everything loads in, but we are looking at, it's kind of hard to see, I understand that, but this is the area we're looking at right here as it moves to the northeast. So it has been gaining strength, and also we can look at the hail. Eric was showing you that a moment ago, and we're going to check hail on here right now as well. And sure enough, we are seeing large hail possible here in the red and yellow shadings there. That would be your pocket potentially large hail. We're talking golf ball size and bigger here with these storms. Another way to look at the hail feature in there is with our 3D tool here, X-Vision. So we'll get that working for us. And as we sample here the back or the southwest corner of the storm, we'll zoom in here a little bit more and then up towards Springerton and McLeansboro. And this feature right here, you're seeing, these are called hail shafts, where you see those little purple areas coming down. We can anticipate large hail here between Twig McLeansboro, and then back here toward Enfield there, out by Booth Elementary School, and then up north toward Broughton and Springerton there in the north. Hail, there's really not much you can do about other than get away from windows. Tornadoes, though, there are a lot of things you can do to stay safe, and you should be in your safe place now if you're in Carmi or any of our cities there across southern Illinois. Let's again look forward now and see where it's headed and how quickly. And I'm going to look at some data on here on radar scope off the air so I can tell exactly how fast this is moving. And yeah, we're still showing about 50 miles per hour on this forward motion of the storm. So we'll put the track back in here, and as we do that, you'll see some cities and towns come up that are in the path here. We're going to track right from that lead edge there at McLeansboro, and we'll just go out here about 50 miles per hour, and that gives us an arrival time now at Enfield at 9:41 and Carmi at 9:52. Those times are pretty consistent with what I was showing you just a couple of minutes ago. So that is, again, our primary concern there in southern Illinois, and you can kind of connect the dots here. You can see that eventually this will be moving into northern Posey perhaps and Gibson counties. It is kind of turning here a little bit to the north as it comes across the Wabash River. So New Harmony, Griffin, Stewartsville, Poseyville, Owensville, you need to be prepared for a tornado warning if one is issued for your area, which it probably will based on what we've seen so far. Eric, I know you've been watching the feed coming in here from our Facebook Live and National Weather Service chat. What are you hearing?
Yeah, Jeff, just getting some reports of some large hail across these areas that we've been concerned with. But I want to keep in mind that we are continuing to scan all of the tri-state, and where this tornado and this storm originated, we are tracking another one back toward Cape Girardeau, in between Cape Girardeau and Carbondale. This is going to be a little bit farther south, and if it continues on the path that it is continuing on, we'll move into Carbondale and then eventually into Harrisburg. Again, these storms are moving about 50 miles per hour, so still a ways away, about 80 miles, so about an hour and a half to 2 hours away if this storm holds together like the one that we're continuing to follow moving into the tri-state right now, and is capable of continuing to grow and producing a tornado very similar to the one that we've been tracking moving into Illinois right now. If you're in the Carmi area, any of these areas that are underneath this tornado warning that is outlined behind me, including Beaver Creek and Enfield, the approaching storm is pretty much on top of you right now, so you need to be in that safe spot, into that basement or interior room of your house, away from those windows, moving off to the east around 50 miles an hour, so eventually into Centerville as well as Crossville, and continuing to hold together as it moves to the east. And we'll continue to keep you posted. Just getting some reports of inch, 2-inch, even 3-inch hail coming out of West Frankfort right now, looking at 1 inch in diameter. So hail, definitely a possibility with these storms as well. Jeff?
And Eric, 3-inch diameter hail would be destructive in any case, and these storms are certainly capable of producing that kind of hail, especially in the environment we're in tonight, which is where we have very strong shearing or strong winds aloft. Here at the surface, it's very warm and moist. We have a lot of lift in the atmosphere right now, or we're generating lift in the atmosphere. All of these things have come together here to produce a severe weather threat for tonight. And just a quick reminder, we are broadcasting our coverage on 104 FM WIKY right now, which is a way you can get the warning if you don't have the app, or if your television goes out. You can also listen, you can turn your TV up as you go to your safe spot. We have a new warning now for Knox County, so let's go back here to the radar. And that, again, not a big surprise there. We were anticipating that moving there out of Lawrence County and into the extreme northern edge of Knox County. Now, this is way up here by Oaktown, right on the border with Sullivan County, and basically out of our coverage area. But just worth noting there along Highway 41 that we have a new tornado warning for extreme northern Knox County. This does not include the city of Vincennes, and will not. This is moving away from you, so we are fine there. We will continue to focus again on the storms that are coming toward the Evansville and tri-state area now through southern Illinois. and we're going to, let me switch this radar. We use different radars because each one gives us a little better view of the storm depending on where it's located. And in this case, I'm going to show you just a comparison here. The radar at Paducah showing very strong winds here and a couplet now out here between McLeansboro and Carmi. And that's what triggered that warning a little while ago there for northern White County. So we do have a rural area. It's kind of sparsely populated out there, very flat, but also very prone to strong wind gusts and severe weather. We've had many tornado outbreaks that have originated in Illinois and have tracked right across this same general spot. Enfield, you are now just a few minutes out here from the back edge of the storm, and that's one thing we don't want to have happen is you get kind of a false sense of security. You know, you might see thunder and lightning there off to your north and think it's going to pass, but we do have this backside of the storm at McLeansboro. That's about 12 miles away. That will wrap around and likely come through, sweep through Enfield, and maybe even brush the northern edge of Carmi here between Carmi and Crossville as it goes to the east at 50 miles per hour. So until the warning has cleared, you need to stay in your safe place and stay away from windows and just continue to watch our coverage here. We are streaming the coverage on the app, so you can watch it that way if you have a good connection or a data carrier. You can also listen to us on 104 FM WIKY, of course, here on television, and we are also putting it out on Facebook Live. If you go to my page, Jeff Lyons 14 News, you'll just see a wide view here of our studio, kind of behind the scenes. Comment in on that page. Tell Eric what's happening at your house, and that will help him with the information we need to relay back to the National Weather Service and to relay to you so we know what's going on out there in the dark. And this is a real difficult situation. It's dark outside. Only the lightning strikes will really help illuminate the storms. Storm track for this tornado warning in White County. Enfield still about approximate.